Sound is one of the modalities that works on the parasympathetic nervous system. People say, does Gong therapy work, or does sound therapy work, or sound healing? Or you can actually get measurable results if you wish to try this on the physical body. So physically, what usually happens with people when they're playing, when you're hearing sound or sound healing, the healing property of sound, physically that occurs. The main way we see this happen is how the nervous system functions, right? We know that a lot of stress in the body, a lot of the tightness in the body comes from this being in this high state of alertness, fight, flight, freeze, sympathetic overload. And what sound does, it's really quite potent, is that sound is one of the modalities that works on the parasympathetic nervous system. So when the sound work is done parasympathetically, and that's what happens when you listen to sound, especially with the eyes closed, you turn off the sympathetic response. Sympathetic response is triggered by vision, what comes into your eyes. Parasympathetic response is triggered by what comes into the ears, right? Or can be. So just simply lying, eyes closed, the right kind of sound coming in is going to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. With certain instruments, such as the Gong, you can actually retrain the nervous system from its sympathetic response of anxiety, stress, fight, or flight, and take it back and forth between that state and then the relaxed state by the virtue of how you play, the volume you play it out, how loud, how soft. You start to actually retrain the nervous system response through sound as well. And this is interesting too, because I was thinking back in terms of like nature and how the human nervous system was also retrained. Think about this. You're living outside most of your life, right? Thousands of years. And you're really much subjected to what's going on in the environment around you. So if you were resting in the trees or whatever, and you heard this huge clap of thunder, what happens? Sympathetic nervous system, fight, flight, danger, goes up high, right? And then the gentle rains come, the weather dies down, parasympathetic nervous system, relaxed, sleep comes in. You even get this sometimes at night when it rains. You hear the thunder, wakes you up, a little bit frightening maybe, and the rain comes down and puts you back to sleep. So even nature, with its ways of sound and the environmental responses, was really helping us train and learn how to use our nervous system. Animals who hunt in the wild do this automatically too. Sympathetic turns on, they kill, they eat, they sleep, parasympathetic turns on. As humans, we've kind of lost that connection. This is a long way of saying that what sound can do when properly used, it starts to rebalance and reset and retrain the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, which allows us to turn off the stress response more easily. Adrenals don't secrete as much, we don't go into that mode as much. The body starts to relax. Sound healing can also allow an easier flow of circulation of energy through the physical body. I've seen this happen a lot with people who use the Gong for helping to create sprains, bruises, swelling, where it increases the circulation of flow of energy or blood flow to the different areas of the body, which helps create physical healing. But fundamentally, it's doing all that physical healing by mostly letting someone relax. And when you're in a relaxed state, when you're not under the pressure of the stress on the body, particularly like through chronic pain, healing can also occur. Healing in the sense that the pain lessens, the pain doesn't distract us much. The beautiful thing about sound healing, I've heard from many people who have issues with pain, is that once they're immersed in the sound environment, they're not aware of that pain, at least for that moment in time. There's at least a temporary release of that constant sense of being uncomfortable. There's other stories you can hear about people who have physical healings with sound, but it's mostly because it's allowed the nervous system to reset, the stress to go away, and when the stress is removed, the body can heal itself a lot better. The natural healing is impaired by being under stress. And so consequently, when we become sick or injured or hurt or whatever, our stress levels just shoot up, which ironically inhibits the healing process. That's why sometimes, when you go to the hospital, they'll give you these pain pills. Not that it's going to heal you. Pain pills will never heal you. But what they do, they take away the experience of pain temporarily, so that the stress level goes down a little bit, and your natural healing can set in a little bit better. Sound healing does the same thing. It helps you to take down that natural stress response that we're carrying with us all the time. It decreases the stress load, so it gives the body's natural healing ability to set in and to come out physically.